This is my review of Jimi, The Legend Lives On. Now, if you're going to buy a ticket to a Jimi Hendrix tribute show, you're going to be slightly worried and hope that the guy can actually play the guitar. Now, John Campbell, who's the star of this show, can definitely play the guitar. He was incredible. Replicating the band, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, we had Tim Gregory on bass guitar, who was very good. And on drums was Phil Carter, who was able to fuse the jazz and rock sounds from that era. And he was brilliant. The show started with a couple of minutes of video footage, Jimi Hendrix's history of how he picked up guitar at the age of 15, and he was part of the backing band for the Isley Brothers. And then the show launched into Foxy Lady, much to the audience's delight. The first song is always the test for a tribute show, and with Foxy Lady, the crowd roared with approval because they loved it. And that was the format for the show. The video pieces were interspersed with the music, and I think it worked really well because it went through the history of Jimi, it moved the show along quite nicely, and it had interview snippets with people who knew Jimi or played with him or had heard him for the first time in their experiences. It was a really good time. Tracks included Hey Joe, Purple Haze, Manic Depression from the Are You Experienced 1967 album, moving on to his more experimental album in 1967 as well, Axe's Bold as Love, and then to the 1968 album Electric Ladyland. They played loads of songs, including Crosstown Traffic, Burning of the Midnight Lamp, All Along the Watchtower, the Bob Dylan song, and of course, Voodoo Child. Hardcore fans, you could tell, were absolutely enjoying the experience. They were cheering with joy as soon as the song started and they could recognise what it was. They were clapping and cheering at the guitar solos. And then they were cheering with admiration and appreciation at the end of each song. In true fashion, it seemed as though each track was getting longer and longer as it was filled with all the guitar pieces, but that was fine. Everyone enjoyed it. We all wanted to listen to the guitar solos. That's why we were there. It's probably the closest anyone's ever going to get to any kind of Jimi Hendrix gig. The audience loved it. It was clear that John Campbell and the band did an incredible job. You could tell John took his role really seriously. You know, of course there's costumes you can have, but his mannerisms were there. You know, he's chewing gum, trying to be relaxed and whatever. He had his white guitar upside down, of course. He did a really good job. I think John really managed to capture the essence of Jimi. The icing on the cake, of course, was the fact that John was an incredible guitarist and really made sure that everybody enjoyed themselves. He encouraged us to clap and sing along, and a lot of fans were singing along to all the lyrics because they were just wrapped up in the atmosphere that was created from this band. John was brilliant. He was a great guitarist, great frontman. His skills on the guitar really shone through. It was pretty remarkable what an amazing job he done. And I think everyone appreciated the talent and the energy that he put across trying to be Jimi Hendrix. So much so that half the crowd stood up with a standing ovation because they just loved it so much. All in all, a very worthwhile show, very enjoyable. And if you're a true fan, you're absolutely going to love it. Jimi, The Legend Lives On is currently on tour, so check out their website to see if they're coming to a place near you.